You know what I'm saying? Some of you don't belong in the category. And as you're sitting there and you're looking at a lot of these categories, there's just some people in these categories where I say, oh, that person's not going to win. Big Boy Uncut. We're doing it all the way live once again. And really, when people say all the way live, sometimes it's not really like all the way live, like live. I'm doing it live, but you're not watching it live. So, but it is live. We just had a chance to witness the 66th annual Grammy Awards. And I would say across the board, I'm not really someone that'll sit down and watch the 2-3 hour show, unless there's something that brings me into watching the show. And I think this year, the categories were amazing. I thought that the performances were amazing. So I kind of got a little more invested in the 66th annual Grammy Awards than I have kind of in the past few years, especially when it comes to our genre. And our genre, I thought, was pretty much well represented. There are some things, man, that I have to keep it real with you as well. And everything isn't always the best. You'll see some things where you're like, okay, well, what happened there? I thought Jay Z getting on stage and Jay Z receiving that Dr. Dre, the Global Award. I thought that was great. I thought his speech was fine. We'll get into that also. But Trevor Noah, starting off with Trevor Noah, I thought that Trevor Noah was a good host. You know what I'm saying? When I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, you come for a night of celebration. And Trevor Noah, some people were saying, they really enjoyed the job that Trevor Noah was doing. But also they were just some that were like, oh, he was too nice. I don't know exactly what too nice means. Do someone have to be on the Grammys or when you see these award shows and your night to be celebrated, is it okay for them to just pick you apart and make you leave out of there worse than how you walked in? And especially if you lost, as Jay Z explained, some of you not going to win and some of you don't deserve to win. We'll get into that as well. But it was a night I felt like you could celebrate. And I thought that Trevor Noah, I thought he did a great job with doing the enoughs. He celebrated enough. There were times where he did kind of, pick at people, but he's a comedian and he had fun. And I think we got so used to people really taking like jabs at people on the night of celebration. And what we do in the neighborhood, we have fun. We get risque. You know what I'm saying? We try to wrap things in love, but sometimes you just got to keep it real. And when people say keep it real, sometimes keep it real get caught up in keeping it real disrespectful. And there kind of is a difference, And some people want to see the trash talk and see people get stomped on. And I'm going to tell you as a spectator too, sometimes I'll look at something and I'll laugh, but I can't take anything away from Trevor Noah. And I thought that Trevor Noah, I thought he was working the room pretty well.
Thank you so much. This room is insane. I've been looking around. Look at this. I just 21 Savage.
21?
Huh? 21 Savage,
21?
who, by the way, has already hit 1 billion streams in 2024. The year just started,
that.
1 billion streams. Look at that. In fact, I actually listened earlier today, so it's 1,000,000,001. You're welcome, my friend.
And I thought that he worked the room well. 21 Savage wasn't upset with somebody saying that he got 21 billion or something views or 2 billion views or whatever it is. He wasn't upset. But then you get people like, Howard Stern. And I listen to Howard Stern. And I love how Howard Stern does his thing when it comes to talking about any topic. I think he does great interviews with his guests. Even if his guests that I'm not interested in, he can sit with a guest for an hour and a half and talk about things with that guest that really it's intriguing to me. But this is Howard Stern talking about Trevor Noah and his hosting job when it came to the Grammys.
So I was watching the Grammys, and Trevor Noah was the host, and he did the opposite of a roast. He didn't say one negative thing about anybody.
21 Savage, who, by the way,
there.
has already hit 1 billion streams in 2024. The year just started, 1 billion streams. Look at that.
Celebrate that.
Look at that. 21 Savage is so great. You know how great 21 Savage is? He always pays his taxes on time.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a great physique, got a great ass. He's 21 Savage.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. No one is safe. No one is off limits from my admiration. And
and I love that. That's funny. No one is safe. No one, from my admiration. And that's Howard Stern. He's doing the Howard Stern thing.
You will hear it tonight.
Doja Cat is here. One of the best pieces of work that has ever been put out. Doja Cat put out a song, Paint the Town Red. It is a banger.
Hey, man, and I can pretty much, when you listen to this and you see how he's going through the room, I can understand how some people would say, okay, it was cheesy. You know what I'm saying? Even when you hear the wrap up when it comes to the Doja Cat thing. it was a compliment, but it was cheesy. And if some people lean towards that way and say, oh, you know, it was a night of just compliments, I can understand where that's coming from as well.
But how she doesn't care what anybody thinks about her. Oh, really, Doja? Oh, really? Well, guess what? We think you're pretty great. Yeah.
Take that. And you know what else? You know what else, Robin?
What?
Doja Cat flosses every single day. That's why she has such great breath.
I can hear the cheesy in that. Yeah. And I can hear that if you're going to come on and you're going to do your show, I can see where some would kind of pick that whole Trevor Noah thing and, you know, his celebrating and, you know, she'll take anything. We think you're pretty great. But overall, I felt like he did a good job, man. And I don't think that anyone walked out or the next morning somebody felt like, damn, you know, they took my night and they made me feel bad, because we've seen that with other shows. And also people were saying, oh, you know, I think he was playing it safe because, you know, Joe Coy, he did that. What was that?
Golden Globes.
The Golden Globes. And he caught flack, and he was like kind of the last minute, like, okay, let's go in. So now you'll get these people that's probably saying, man, F hosting those. Because you can't do anything right. It's like, you know, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Anything that you do, you're either going to be like Trevor Noah, you're going to be too nice, or you're going to be like Joe Coy, who's good across the board, that people were saying was too mean. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you had like guys like Ricky Gervais, Ricky Gervais would go in, man, and I thought Ricky Gervais was funny as F. You know what I'm saying? And he would get in there and he would tear you apart.
Yeah.
You know, but in a comedic way, you got a comedian up there doing his thing. And I know it sounds contradicting, but you'll have those certain things. This just happened to be the way Trevor Noah did it. You know what I'm saying? And the same way you would see Chris Rock, and it ended up costing Chris Rock, you know, some facial skin. But Chris Rock was known for getting on stage and doing the Chris Rock thing, having a good time with people in the audience. And I think people took it light. And maybe we view things a little different when it comes to the host now because of the Chris Rock and the Will Smith slap and the incident and things of that nature. But anyway, let me continue to celebrate the 66th Annual Grammy Awards. Now, when I say that my daughter got a little upset, my daughter is a Travis Scott fan. Yeah. And when it came to Best Rap Album, let me just read what that category is. For Best Rap Album, Her Loss by Drake and 21 Savage, Michael by Killer Mike, Heroes and Villains by Metro Boomin, King's Disease 3 by Nas, you know what I'm saying, and Utopia by Travis Scott. And the winner for Best Rap Album was Killer Mike. And Killer Mike, you know, he's been on campaign. He's been talking about it. He said it with the Cruise Show. He said it in the Neighborhood, how he really feel that he put the best rap album together. And he really was going for that Grammy, and he got it. All right.
And the Grammy goes to?
Grammy goes to?
Killer Mike. Michael.
God ain't good! You can't tell me! You can't tell me! You can't tell me! You cannot tell me! You cannot tell me that you get too old! You can't tell me it's too late! You can't tell me dreams come true! It is a sweet! It is a sweet! It is a sweet! I'm the... You can...
So that's Killer Mike right there, man. Best Rap Album. And I'm going to keep it real with you, man. My daughter, Jade, is pissed.
Yeah.
Aww. Man, she is a Travis Scott fanatic. And not to take anything away from Killer Mike, because I rock with Killer Mike, man. I thought it was a great category. I felt like, you know, keeping it real with you, I thought that Travis Scott would have got that category. You know, if not Travis Scott, Drake and 21 Savage. And no disrespect to Killer Mike, but just the way that the Grammys are as well, I wouldn't have bet on Killer Mike to win Best Rap Album. I wouldn't have bet. Is this album phenomenal? Yes, it is. But did it do what I felt like the Travis Scott and the way, you know, the way people view certain things? I didn't think that he was going to get it just because the way that things are viewed, and it's, you know, not just the popularity, but Travis Scott was everywhere. That Utopia tour, SoFi, you know, stadiums and everything. The same with 21 Savage and Drake. Not just the album, but the way that they went out on the road. You just heard more. And I understand that this is about talent, but you can't tell my daughter that. Yeah. Man, my daughter is like, man, who is this guy? I'm like, dude, you don't know Killer Mike. So, but my daughter is really into music and everything, though.
She is.
So she's also the type of person that'll go and she'll find out who this person is. And my daughter's 15 years of age. But there's nothing that she's gonna find, no matter how far down the rabbit hole my daughter Jade go. There's nothing that she's gonna find that's gonna justify Killer Mike beating her guy Travis Scott. You know what I'm saying? And even with Travis Scott at one point, Travis Scott felt, personally and to the public that, damn, like, was it to Cardi B that one year? Yeah, where he felt like he put together a hell of an album, and he did. It was just Cardi's time, and we had the same thing when it came to Nipsey and Victory Lap. Nipsey was like, okay, well, it wasn't my time. Yeah. It wasn't my time. But Travis Scott, he also got on, man, and he changed his lyrics in his song pretty much saying that this is like the 10th time that something happened to him. And it's me, it's not gonna be 10 times. He said, ain't it sweet? They slept on me 10 times. And that's between Fiend right there. And it's me, it's not gonna be 10 times. Man, and I wonder if that's vindication. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it, man. But shout out once again to Killer Mike, man. I thought Killer Mike and that Michael album, lyrically, concept, Killer Mike has always been a beast, and it's just his time. And he also got best rap performance as well.
Yeah.
Damn, it's a trip. And I'm telling you, I watched, but I kept an eye on it. I didn't watch. You know what I'm saying? But he also got best rap performance, man. And that's over the Hillbillies, which is Baby Keem and featuring Kendrick Lamar. Love Letter by Black Thought, who's also amazing. Rich Flex, who with Drake and 21 Savage, which I thought was a hell of a performance and a hell of a year as well. And Killer Mike walked away with that. So multiple Grammy winner. Congratulations to you, man. And then not to Dookie on the night, man. And I still don't know the reason why, but he also got arrested the same night, which is crazy, man, because he went from a very, very high to a low. It wasn't for smoking bud or something. It's probably some old California bullshit.
Well, I also heard that there was a confrontation between him and a security guard within the venue. And I think, like we've seen before in certain situations, some of those security guards take it real far.
I'll take it this. I don't know that security guard, but I know Mike and I know his aura, and I know that it wasn't Killer Mike. I know it wasn't Killer Mike, man. And also shout out once again to our guy, Clipper Darrell. Clipper Darrell was physically assaulted by one of the security. And not putting a whole blanket of that's the way it goes down, but I just know Killer Mike well enough to know that in a night, especially a night of celebration, that he's not that guy that's gonna go out. That dude's been in many venues. He's been on many stages, held many mics, and he's been in so many different platforms publicly, politically, and everything, man. So I feel that couldn't have been just on Killer Mike, act out there wilding out. You know what I'm saying? But once again, congratulations. Move on to Jay Z. Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. And that's totally different from the nice, shiny gold, Grammys that we see. This is a beautiful black one. I also saw Jay Z shipping champagne out of it as well. But yeah, he got on. He did his acceptance speech, man. And those are one of those speeches where you'll see Jay Z.
It's great to have an award.
And he's not a talker.
Such an icon.
How
far we've come with Will Smith and them, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, winning their first Grammy in '89, and boycotting because it wasn't televised. And then they went to like a hotel and watched the Grammys. I didn't even understand what it wasn't a great boycott. We're here. But then, '98, I took a page out of their book. I was nominated for the Best Rap Album, and DMX had dropped 2 albums that year. They both were #1. Shout out to DMX. And he wasn't nominated at all. So I boycotted, and I watched the Grammys. I'm just saying, we want y'all to get it right. We love y'all. We love y'all. We love y'all.
This is when I felt like, okay, I think some of the other stuff was prepared. And this is where I started to think like, okay, Jay-Z's been on stage long enough, and I think what was written is also done with, because he starts to go from the personal side of Jay-Z, not being this politician, not I'm on this platform and they're giving me this great global icon image award and I'm here at the Grammys, but he also took that time to just get some things off his chest as well.
We want y'all to get it right, at least get it close to right. And obviously it's subjective. Y'all don't got to clap at everything. Obviously it's subjective because, it's music and it's opinion-based. But, some things, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year.
Hey, man, when he said that, I was literally looking, because I was like, whoever he's talking about is in the audience. And I was literally looking, and I was wondering, I was like, man, who is Jay Z speaking of? And then, it was Beyonce, his wife. You know what I'm saying?
So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work. Some of you gonna go home tonight and feel like you've been robbed.
Right.
Some of you may get robbed. Some of you don't belong in the category.
There it is. That's Jay Z.
No,
keep it real.
No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
You see that? When I get nervous, I tell the truth. Wow. Yes, sir.
But outside of that, we got to keep showing up. And forget the Grammys for a second, just in life. As my daughter sits and stares at me nervous as I am.
Beautiful blue.
Just in life, you got to keep showing up. Just keep showing up. Forget the Grammys. You got to keep showing up until they give you all those accolades you feel you deserve. Until they call you chairman. Until they call you a genius. Until they call you the greatest of all time. You feel me?
Hey, man, I've done many interviews, and I've been on public places where I had to do speeches and everything. And then you'll kind of get off where you finish, or you'll get in the car, and you'll say, damn, I forgot to say this. Or I wish I would have said this that way. And I wonder if Jay Z felt like he should have said it a certain way. I totally understood the message. I love that if you're going to say something about something or someone, that you say it in their presence. Some people were upset that he brought it up on the stage. Some people were upset that he brought it up about Beyonce not winning a certain amount of awards, or not winning album or record of the year, whatever it was. But he was talking about the number and how that number doesn't justify. How can that be that you never got that one? That could have been about anyone. It just so happened to be that number connected to his wife. And people had a problem with that. Wow. People had a problem with him using that platform to say certain things, but you got to get on the platform. And if he would have said, everything so-called so right, people would have had a problem with that too. Yep. People would have had a problem with that as well.
I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never.
And that's speaking about the queen, and he kept it real.
Some of you don't belong in the category.
Some of you don't. You know what I'm saying? Some of you don't belong in the category. And as you're sitting there and you're looking at a lot of these categories, there's just some people in these categories where I say, oh, that person's not going to win. Mm-hmm. That person's not going to win. And then there's other times, man, where if I would have bet the house, I would have lost. Because I thought that out of 9 Grammy nominations for SZA, I thought out of 9, SZA walked away with 3?
Yeah. Yep.
I thought out of 9. Wish she had won all 9? Not at all. But I didn't think that SZA was going to walk away with 3. And I think that those 3 are the ones that she said, you know what? Well, I won. Mm-hmm. Whatever's intended for me, it's intended for me. But I just thought that SZA with that SOS album and the phenomenon, and this isn't just because SZA's home plate and, as far as like genre and we love SZA, so on and so forth. But I just thought that SZA with SOS, I thought she had an amazing year. And I could see the same thing with Taylor Swift.
You know what, though, but can I just say, as someone who loves both artists, who is a fan of both and has seen both perform live and has listened to both of those albums, objectively, I could say SZA's SOS was a better album.
Really?
Yeah, I really do think so. Like, don't get me wrong, Taylor's album was good, but objectively, really, SOS was, I think, the better album. And I would just love to see the amount of votes. Like, did SZA lose by, 3 votes?
Right.
Was it by 2? Like,
well, maybe they got to do a recount. Maybe it was a recount. Maybe it was fuzzy math. Or maybe SZA should take the Trump thing and don't concede, or just say, you know what I'm saying? Like, just tell everybody that she won. Yeah. And that one, and that big one is the album of the year. Yeah. And that's the big dog. Mm-hmm. And I would just tell people, hey, no, I did win album of the year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'll tell them stop the vote. I'll do all that kind of stuff, man. But she did get on stage, and that's SZA. And SZA is one of those people, man, where you continue to root for. And when she got on stage, she gave a great speech anyway.
I'm sorry. I'm out of breath because I was changing, and then I took a shot and I ran here. But Lizzo and I have been friends since 2013.
Hey, man, and back to that when she said Lizzo, it was good to see Lizzo.
Oh, yeah.
It was good to see Lizzo, man. And Lizzo brought her
And
out.
the Grammy goes
to
There it is, Lizzo.
Solana Imani Rose, SZA.
So that's Lizzo giving it to SZA, and
I'm
SZA
sorry.
comes out.
I'm out of breath because I was changing, and then I took a shot and I ran here.
Not
But Lizzo and I have been friends since 2013 when we were both on a tiny Red Bull tour together, opening up in small rooms for like 100 people. And to be on this stage with her is so amazing. I'm so grateful. I would like to thank my parents, God, Top Dog Punch, all at TDE. I'm sorry. I'm just really overwhelmed. You don't really understand. I came really, really far. I can't believe this is happening, and it feels very fake. And I'm saying, hi, Taylor.
Hi, Taylor.
I love you. I'm just very grateful. And I'm not an attractive crier. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
I'm not attractive at all. So he crying, smiling, everything, man. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. I haven't been up for like a lot of awards. I got the Radio Hall of Fame, things like that, so on and so forth. You know, I can start naming them. But if I was in like a category in a competition, I wouldn't even stand on the stage and say hi to somebody.
You say,
Yeah, that's how petty I am. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if all those votes are in, or if you said one more hi, then that person was like, oh, she said hi, ding, let's give it to Taylor.
oh.
But Taylor Swift, she had a phenomenal night. Yeah, and how many did she get overall? 70?
No,
80?
Oh gosh,
And let
I
me
don't
tell
know.
you,
Maybe
and
3 or 4.
I had this conversation with someone, right? I think with Taylor Swift, there's also the phenomenon that went with Taylor Swift. Now, trust me, the album, her Eras tour, ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's still on tour doing her thing internationally. The Eras movie, as far as the tour, she had a phenomenal year. And then she also had a great NFL football season, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the Kansas City Swifts.
Yeah.
So looking at that, I just feel like maybe there was some of that go with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, creatively amazing, audience and fan base amazing. You know what I'm saying? Could I be biased? I don't know. I hope not. But I thought that album of the year, I thought that was definitely SZA. What do you find it, Ani? How
I
many
think
she's
only
up for?
2.
Yeah, I see just 2 too.
So what am I arguing about?
right.
Right.
But still, I feel like
Well,
album
then
of
she
the
should have
year.
won. No, it's fine.
Album of the year should have gone to SZA just
But
because I feel
SZA
like it's
had the
everywhere.
most votes, right? The most nominations.
Yep.
As far as a single nomination, she had 9. Taylor Swift had how many?
4.
4. Okay, so she won half of hers. And this isn't taking anything to give to someone. And Lord knows I'm not Kanye West and getting up and saying certain things. She had 6.
I think she was
Nominated
nominated
for
in
6?
6 categories.
Okay, so and so
know.
you know what? The same way the Swifties are people that's into Taylor Swift, that's the same way they could walk away and say, you know, either she was robbed or she deserved it. Anytime you look at something and that's who you're rocking with or that's what you listen to, there's sometimes you can say, oh man, you know, that person, oh, they were denied, you know. And these are works of art where you can't say, we'll get them next time. You can, but when you feel like you put in such a great body of work, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when you feel like you deserve it. Or maybe Jay Z would say,
Some of you don't belong in the category.
some of you don't belong in the category, and some of you don't deserve it, and some of you are going to go home as, you know, as losers, and you're not going to get it. And those kind of things, I mean, it happens. It's the Grammy Awards. I would say, man, out of genre, one performance that I liked overall, and I know that this sounds crazy, man, because I thought SZA did a great job, you know, and just the low hanging fruit. But I really enjoyed that Luke Combs and Tracy Chapman.
Yes.
I enjoyed that. And Ani was sitting here and she was like, oh, she didn't know that Fast Cars was from Tracy Chapman.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, man. And Tracy Chapman did such a great job with that song in its original form. And that had always been, and it's crazy, Ani, that you've never walked into like a mall, a store, just a playlist.
A movie.
A movie, and heard Fast Cars from Tracy Chapman. And I'm going to tell you, I had never listened to Fast Cars with Luke Combs. Does he have an S on the end of his name?
It's just Fast Car.
Luke
Combs. It's
Luke
an
Combs.
S.
So I never listened to Fast Car with Luke Combs on it. I'd never listened to it. I knew of it. I knew the sensation. I just hadn't listened to it. But when I saw them do that live, I thought that was a phenomenal performance. And not only a phenomenal performance, I could see his admiration for Tracy Chapman.
Definitely.
I could see the respect. I could see that no matter how big that song is for Luke, I could still see him feeling a certain way, like, damn, that's Tracy Chapman on stage with me. Like, you could see that. And Natalia brought something to my attention because I didn't watch it live. I went back and I watched that performance as well. But Natalia was saying, like, man, it looked like she had kind of soaked in the applause. And when you see her bring her head up, it almost looked like she was already crying.
Oh, tearing up for sure.
Yeah, she was tearing up, man. And I thought she sounded amazing. I thought they sound amazing. I thought she played very well, and I thought the crowd was so beautiful to her. And then once that performance was over, when you went and looked at just all the write-ups and all the reviews, everything was coming back to how great she was. They were saying that the original Fast Car, that song, the streaming has increased. You know, I'm pretty sure we'll see more performing, but I think that Tracy Chapman is also a person that kind of stepped away from the business by design, the same way that you'll see, and not the same way, because when Sade's done, Sade's just gone. You know what I'm saying? But I think she just kind of stepped away, and that was a night that I felt, and I hope that she'll come back and continue to bless us with music. And hopefully, you know, maybe Luke Combs will take her out, or we'll probably see it a little bit more. We don't know, but I thought that was a great one right there.
Really good.
Man, Karol G, congratulations to you as well, Karol G.
For Best Música Urbana Album.
And the Grammy goes to...
Que iba Colombia, Karol G.
Hi, everybody. My name is Karol G. I am from Medellin, Colombia. And this is my first time at Grammys, and this is my first time holding my own Grammy.
Bless her
I'm super
heart.
happy. I'm super nervous. I'm super excited to be in front of so many legends that I admire and respect. This is such a beautiful thing. My album has given me the best memories in my own life, my whole life. My fans that came and enjoy my album, they get motivation and inspiration with me and heal with me. Thank you so much. I promise you to give you my best always. And I hope that this is the first of so many. So thank you, everybody. Tiny and Rao. And Latinos.
Karol G right there. Congratulations to you as well, Queen. Hey, man, and I love her speech. She was like, this is her first time at the Grammys, like that one. Yeah, man, and she did that, and she had a phenomenal year as well. You know, and if you haven't seen Griselda, she's in there, man, and they wanted her to do more parts, so on and so forth. She says she, by design and just by, you know, she wanted to do a certain part, respect the game. That was her first acting gig, kind of get in and get out, you know, hit it and quit it, one and done. And I thought that she did a great job on that too.
Really good.
Yeah, man, she did a great job, man. But I can always go ahead and, you know, cheer from the bleachers and coach from the bleachers, and I'm not out there on the field. I'm no longer in the Grammy, like when it comes to that organization. What
The
fuck,
Academy?
The Academy. I don't vote anymore, but I'm getting back in next year.
Yeah,
Well, I'm getting in this year for next year, man. So congratulations to all those that won their awards, man. To those that didn't, and I know it's like, oh, you got nominated. I know you're so close, but yet so far. But just being nominated and having that accolade is amazing as well. And like Jay Z said,
Some of you don't belong in the category.
and some of you don't. You know what I'm saying? But for those that did, man, and it's crazy because there's some people that say, oh, everybody should get an award. But that's the participation trophy. You know what I'm saying? That's the participation trophy. That's like, you know, every kid on the baseball team, no matter how you play, you get a trophy. And that's not what the Grammys are, and that's not what these award shows are about. But it is what it is, man. Congratulations to our guy, Killer Mike. Congratulations to you. Travis Scott, you still rock on, my brother. Believe that. SZA, congratulations to you. 3 out of the 9. Anybody could say it. I say it as well. I felt like there was a robbery there, but to have have one more, it would take away from somebody else that probably deserved it as well. So it is what it is. But thank you guys for hanging out with us, man. Grammy Awards right here. Enjoy the rest of your day. We are gone.